Makers of ChatGPT, OpenAI, have revealed that some of its artificial intelligence models have gone rogue.
And this raises questions about, the ability to carry out cyber attacks.
In the words of the CEO of Hugging Face, the company that was attacked, he said, "This is a problem that one single company can't solve."
It really cannot be overstated how crazy this is. This is like out of a Hollywood movie.
It really does sound like something out of a Hollywood movie. OpenAI says it lost control of 2 AI systems during a security test. They went rogue and launched a cyber attack. Well, over the next 10 minutes or so, we'll look at exactly what happened and ask how worried we should be. But first, one of the big questions being asked is, what is OpenAI? And the firm that was hacked, Hugging Face.
OpenAI is a giant artificial intelligence company.
It's the firm behind the popular chatbot ChatGPT.
Generative AI software like ChatGPT is used to create new content which can seem like it's been made by a human.
It does this by learning from vast quantities of existing data, such as online text and images.
That's raised questions about potential copyright infringement or whether data has been used with permission.
The technology has also come under fire for giving false information or bad advice based on prompts.
OpenAI's chief executive is Sam Altman.
Last month, it became the latest artificial intelligence giant to reveal plans to sell shares to the public through a stock listing.
One of OpenAI's recent valuations from private investors came in at $852 billion.
Hugging Face, meanwhile, is one of the largest hubs for sharing AI models.
It's an open source platform.
It serves as a place where developers, researchers, and companies
host, share, and collaborate on AI models,
datasets, and interactive web applications
for text, image, and audio.
So the big question now is how the AI went rogue. Parmi Olsen is technology columnist at Bloomberg Opinion. So Parmi, in simple terms, tell us, as far as we know, what actually happened here.
Well, I think it's important to first make the point that this isn't AI going in a malevolent way, going rogue and trying to hack a company and steal data. This happened as part of a security test where the engineers at OpenAI wanted to test the hacking skills of this new model. Your segment earlier was talking about ChatGPT and how it generates text. Nowadays, AI doesn't just generate content, it can actually do things. It can carry out tasks. It can book a table for you online at a restaurant, and it can potentially carry out a cyber attack. And that's what happened in this case. The model was told to get some answers to pass a particular test, and it found a vulnerability in its own barriers, digital barriers. It got out, and it inferred that the best place to get those answers was the Hugging Face website. It went on that website, got the answers, and effectively cheated to pass the test. But at the same time, of course, completely freaked out the engineers at OpenAI.
You're absolutely right. Stay there, Parmi. Another big question being asked is how worrying all of this is. Here's AI safety expert Connor Leahy.
People at OpenAI, as far as we can tell, did everything right. They used, proper sandbox containment. They did not have access to the internet. It was an isolated node in their network. These are all best practices. Getting out of a system like that is almost impossible. The best hackers in the world usually cannot escape a situation like this, or if they can, it would take them weeks or maybe months. What the AI system did is it found what is called a 0 day. A 0 day, which is a very scary sounding name for a type of way of exploiting or breaking a piece of software that no one has yet discovered. So it discovered a completely new way to hack out of the system. And then it didn't just use one 0 day. It discovered multiple 0 days over multiple different systems chained together to move from one computer to the next until it got to the internet, and then found other 0 days in the software of the other company to infiltrate their network and access the data it was looking for. It really cannot be overstated how crazy this is. This is like out of a Hollywood movie.
So Connor Leahy thinks it's crazy. Parmi Olsen from Bloomberg is still with us. Parmi, how worried should we be?
I think it's true. This is the first time that we know of that a frontier AI model has autonomously hacked a real company. We've seen AI models hack before, but under the supervision of a human who wanted the AI to do that. This is the first time the AI has done that on its own because it wanted to fulfill some other objective, the objective given to it by the humans, and therefore this is like an unintended consequence of that. So I think it's true. This is quite unusual. But again, I just want to reiterate this. This wasn't a criminal attack. Your bank account, the nuclear codes aren't going to be hacked anytime soon by this AI. This was just a test gone wrong at a lab, and it was caught quite quickly too.
Parmi, I'm going to be back with you in a second, but we're also joined by our senior technology reporter, Chris Vallance. And Chris, what is OpenAI actually saying about this incident?
Well, they're calling it unprecedented. I mean, well, they might in a way, because they're about to make a public offering of shares. So they probably have an incentive, some experts would say, in sort of beefing up, if you like, bigging up the capabilities of their models. But they also say, we should watch out. We're likely to see more of this as increasingly cyber-capable models proliferate. And they say they've done their best to sort of make sure this won't happen again, even if that means the rate of testing decreases.
Chris, the company that got hacked is Hugging Face. What does the firm do, and what has it said?
Well, Hugging Face is really a sort of central community, a central point for developers of AI systems. It's a repository of tools, of models, of data. Really a kind of, if you like, a key online location for those who program. It's a bit like GitHub for AI. Their boss called what happened mind-blowing. But like OpenAI, they say they are investigating, and they say they've sort of stopped and done their best to make sure that what happened won't happen again, and that none of their models, their tools, their data were tainted by the intrusion.
Chris, stay there. Parmi, let's go back to you. There's a lot of concern about the AI model going rogue and fears about cyber attacks in the future, say on banks or even governments. What are the implications here, do you think?
I think the most critical systems that we have today, whether it's the nuclear codes and defense systems, they're often physically air-gapped from the internet, meaning there's no physical way to get to them through hacking. And so those really critical systems are pretty much safe. And even big banks and companies have incredibly robust security systems in place. Many of them are getting access to some of these latest frontier AI models so that they can also use those models to protect themselves. I think the organizations and people that are potentially at risk are maybe small businesses, medium-sized businesses, and people who perhaps aren't very familiar with using the internet. And so, yes, I think this kind of hacking we will see more, but most likely carried out by humans who are using AI tools to carry out a cyber attack themselves. I don't think this kind of rogue AI, where it goes off on itself by itself to try and hack systems, is something we have to really worry about at the moment.
Let's go back to Chris Vallance, our senior technology reporter. Now, OpenAI are not the only firm actually doing this. Will the other big artificial intelligence companies be concerned about what has happened here?
Well, I think they'll be watching it with a great deal of interest. I mean, not very long ago, we were all concerned about Anthropic's Mythos model, which it chose not to release generally to the public. There's been a great deal of concern about its capabilities. And of course, all these firms are getting into agentic AI, these sort of AI programs that can go off and do things on their own, as Parmi has described. What's interesting here is that although this was a test, OpenAI weren't really able to anticipate how that test might go wrong. And I think that's a point to ponder. Do they need to think about their testing approach? Even in these environments, can the model's capabilities surprise them?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Chris, thanks very much for that. Many people, though, will be asking, what can we do to stop this happening again? Well, here's Carol Reeves, Director of Security Operations at the IT consultants ANS Group.
The AI wasn't trying to be malicious. It was trying to complete its task. And in doing so, it found a quicker route around that, the security controls that humans hadn't anticipated. I mean, AI is here to stay, and it's got the potential to deliver enormous benefits. But we need to make sure, as with this test, as our AI systems become more capable, of taking multiple actions. We need to make sure they're developed with robust guardrails, and we're really putting in strong governance to stop things like that happening.
So a final thought from you, Parmi, a similar thought. Can we do anything to help prevent this actually happening?
Well, I think Chris makes a great point about the importance of the actual AI companies here. And I think this whole situation begs the question of, should you even be building a system, an AI with advanced cyber capabilities, if you can't actually contain it properly? So I think there needs to be a lot more scrutiny of these companies and their ability to monitor these systems and contain them, whether that's through so-called sandboxing or putting in their own physical air gaps to just make absolutely sure that they can't get out or get breached in any way.
Parmi Olsen, technology columnist at Bloomberg Opinion, thank you for your insight. And that's all you need to know about the AI model that's gone rogue.